Welcome to our live stream. Today, we're going to be revolutionizing music, putting a major record label in your pocket, and scaling AI for creators on base. Get ready for breakthrough updates and game-changing insights. Starting off with what we always start off with. Sid, in one word, how are you feeling today? And in one sentence, what do you need today?
I'm feeling focused. In one word, what do I need today? Momentum. Let's keep it repetitive.
Today's date is the 28th, the last
Wait,
day.
how come I only got to do that?
You don't ask.
What about you?
I'm feeling rejected, and I need clear reflection that views reality objectively and without emotional words like good or bad.
Nice.
Rejection and reflection are the
Rejection, reflection.
those are the two mantras I'm working through right now. The
I feel
rejection
like
and observing the reflection clearly, and the rejection's an emotional feel. So what we had an assumption of reality. The reason we feel rejected is what actually happened in reality did not match our expectations. Now is not the time to attach ourselves to those emotions. Those are not clear and objective. How can we extract objective learnings so that we can navigate reality with more clarity and in truth instead of emotions, which are going to cloud our view and create hallucinations?
I just love the idea of a shirt that says rejection, reflection. I feel like that shit would pop off on TikTok. All right, let's get into it.
Project goal, a major record label in your pocket at 1/10 the cost with a full team working so you can focus on the art. Make it easy for musicians and other creators to build and manage AI agents at scale on base and help musicians get paid. Any updates we want to make to this based off of the past week?
No, I think it's good. What are you feeling?
It's probably still okay. I'm wondering, the more we focus on segments, maybe we want to make the project goal more tied into segments, or segments might just be more of a quarterly goal and not something we need to put in the overall business.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's more of a quarterly goal.
Okay. Quarterly goals, speaking of, are, in my opinion, still kind of generic. And so maybe this is a chance for us to, we still have one more month left in Q1. Going through these, first one, valuable product, lots of new users, and sit in suites use and get value on a daily basis. Do we want to continue to evaluate these like we have in previous weeks, or do we want to try to readdress these at the end of the second month of quarter one? Do we want to change these or continue to focus on them?
I like the idea of reevaluating and seeing if we're still there, or seeing if these are still the right focuses.
Valuable product. Last week you said halfway there. You're not using it for growing your social accounts or the social accounts you manage. We have an artist with 50K monthly listeners. We have engagement, yet Recoup does not auto grow. Missing clients. I said lack of social proof. Chat actions perform worse than Eliza. On your side, how would you reflect on valuable product?
Yeah, I still think a goal is definitely valuable product for quarter one. I'm still not using it, so I have yet to get value. I started to use it, but I still haven't gotten tons of value. So I guess it's the same. It's the same. I don't know if like we're halfway there. I don't know if that's the right terminology. But yeah, it is does still not feel like a valuable product.
For the same reason you had last time, missing clients, and you're still not using it to grow the social accounts?
No. After yesterday's call, I now feel like segments needs to be improved.
Can you give me 2 more sentences on that to add specificity?
Yes. Segments need to be enterprise. I'm sorry. Need to capture enough. What's the word? How can I say this? Segments need to directly tie back to improving campaigns for artists and driving revenue. And segments need to have a big enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Amount of fans in them, or capture enough, a big enough data set to move the needle.
Can you use something other than move the needle?
Yeah.
Synonym for that?
Give me a second. Okay. Right now, segments are too small, not at enterprise scale, too generic, not uncovering deep insights, and they're not tied to clear money-making opportunities.
What was the last point?
Not tied to clear money-making opportunities. I guess a better way to put it is not clear how to monetize segments.
There we go. Now we're bringing money into it, helping musicians get paid.
Yeah.
Do you want to put an actual on these, or do you want to put a required on these, or do you think the actual is enough to give the baseline?
Actuals are enough to give the baseline.
Cool. So last time you were talking about clients and the fact that you're not posting. This week, valuable product is more tied to segments and the results we are seeing in the enterprise call.
Yep.
On my side last week, I said lack of social proof. This was improved this week. When we go over to the chat, you can now see when you get a tool, the tool will then show PFPs on my account. We found that that's not true for other social accounts. So we're moving in the right direction to fix this. I'm going to scratch this out. Our chat actions perform worse than Eliza. We don't have, we are now, I would say we're now on par for the tools we support. Eliza has way more tools, so Eliza might still feel better. But I would say that both of the points that I had said last week are no longer the case. Valuable product. I would say, aligning with what you said, lack of robust social data, comments missing PFP or avatar image, all social data missing following.
What does that mean?
Like the number of followers.
Got it.
Profiles the account is following. Many social records are missing or have inaccurate number of followers. Many social records are missing or have inaccurate bio. Images help us to show them on the end musician so that they can see the PFPs. Following, I don't necessarily know how we're going to use this yet, but it is missing, so I'll move this one further down, but still in the little list. Social records are missing number of followers. That's important because we rank and stack and say if a profile is an influencer based off of the number of followers. And so that number is important, at least that it's non-zero.
Yeah.
Many social records are missing a bio. Bios are important for us to create segments. If we don't have a bio for a comment, we're only throwing the profile into, we're only generating segment names and grouping a fan into a segment based off of the comment they're leaving and not the bio. A comment is very temporal. A bio at least spans more time. The bio that I set on my profile, I set years ago and I haven't touched it. And so, whereas the comments I'm leaving change all the time. So personally, these 4 items are missing and I've been focused on it today. And I think improving this creates a more valuable product. I'll scratch out these. I think we don't lack social. We're now including it in our UI. We're missing it in our scraping. And so I think in order to get better segments, we need to even go further back in the stack and work on the scraping.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I also think you remember when we do you remember when we first did the test of if we dive into somebody's profile and scrape their bio and videos, will we be able to segment them correctly? And then we did like the musical theater guy, and it worked. And we were like, oh shit, it worked. Do you remember that?
Your question is, do I remember when we scraped a musical theater profile?
Yeah. The first guy, the first time we came up with the idea of segmenting, how to segment fans, and we scraped that one profile, and it was the musical theater guy, the Hamilton guy. And we were like, oh, this guy's probably Hamilton. And then it analyzed it as Hamilton.
Yes.
Cool. When I guess my question is, when we did that, did we also include his an analyzing of his videos, or do we just rely on bio?
I don't remember. I think we only analyzed bio and then we verified the results by going into their videos.
Okay, cool. Because that was my next thought of like, will we also get better, like continuing to think through what else can we scrape to get better segments, and analyzing their videos to find similarities and stuff, may even give us even more data and stuff.
That's something I was looking at today. I agree. We can do that. The 2 things to consider are the more data we scrape, the longer it's going to take to get those results. And 2, it increases our costs. So if neither of those 2 things are a concern to you, we'll do it. I just want to flag that if you want to scrape additional videos, it's going to slow down the process, as well as all those things we need to scrape are going to add on to our costs.
I'm okay with it for now to see the difference in results.
Can you see this up arrow?
Wait, let me make your screen bigger. No, I can't see it. I can't read that. Okay, now, well, yeah, but it's backwards. Chat.
So the bottom social profile. First thing is we need people's social profile. We use AI. If they give us a name to then look up the social profiles, we're pretty robust there. The biggest thing that we need to fix is the Spotify dropdown so that Spotify lookup's accurate. Then we go into scraping. Scraping is important, and we're missing a lot of data. We're missing the bio, we're missing the follower count, we're missing the videos of the people that we're scraping in the comments. Then we generate segments. That's where your mind's at right now. And I'm trying to just take a step back and get us on the same page that as a result of missing scraping things, our segments are going to be lower. I also agree with you that increasing our numbers instead of 100, make it all of them is going to be good. However, that will also will still be limited by the amount of data that we're scraping. And then finally, where we haven't, we just updated to add in the new tool, chat and segment chats. It seems like we're relatively happy there, but that is not working because segments are not as clear as what you just defined. And my argument is segments are not where they need to be because our scraping is.
I agree. The more data we can provide the LLM up front, the better segment reports are going to be, segment buckets are going to be, chat segments are going to, the whole experience gets more intuitive the more data it has on the back end, and the better we store that data for clarity. So I agree.
Anything else we want to talk about on valuable product? It seems like we're shifting away from clients and new features to, okay, we need to fix more of the foundation so that what we are already doing is higher quality. Is that accurate?
I agree. I agree with that direction. How do you feel?
I think it makes sense. I'm starting to get cabin fever of how much we're sticking on this one feature while publicly we're talking about other things like Instagram clients and posting on people's behalf. But I agree that there is missing pieces. This is the foundation for everything. And my emotions say I want to be shipping other things. But if we come back to really observing reality clearly, this data is the foundation we need to get right before we move on to the fun, sugary stuff like posting on behalf of a user.
I am 1,000% with you, Sweets. The more I think about it, the better our segment, the better our scraping, the better our segments, the more context the LLM has, the better off the bat the experience of clients is going to be, because it's going to be able to chat with somebody and a fan and know what segment they are, what they care about, like it's going to know more information about them. So it'll be able to have stronger relationships when we start to do more clients. And because it all starts with like what the data we have. And so I agree with you 1,000%. As a founder who wants to innovate, I am frothing at the mouth to build new features. Like, I'm just like, come on, but I also think about how good it will feel when we get scraping right and segments right, where when we press that button and the UI delivers back these segments that are like, what, like so valuable to an artist, and like how amazing that's gonna feel to be able to provide that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited for it.
One last thing I'll throw in is lack of immediate results. Right now, when we're scraping, and we're going to be making the scraping process longer, you just sit there and watch things spin and you can kind of see the status. I want to be throwing, as soon as we get profile info, I want to show the PFP that we got. As soon as we get a video, I want to show the videos. I want the wrapped process to constantly show social proof, so that instead of just sitting there and watch a spinner, musicians are actively building trust in us, seeing, they got that. I didn't know if they were going to get that or not. Oh, they got that too. I didn't even know that was a thing. And just like building that by, if they're sitting there and watching the wrapped, being able to build social proof / trust instead of generic thinking spinner.
I agree. I will say with that, there's a question in my mind about the value that brings to our current customer base, because we're white gloving onboarding. So what?
Just moved it below. I agree with you.
Okay, cool.
Lots of new users. Last week you said not worried because our focus is not on new users. We're focused on making the product better. Maybe before we go into the reflection, let's get the new data.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go into, I'll start by Supabase because I know how to do that one easy. Supabase, and then I might stop sharing to go into Stripe. You got privy numbers?
I can get them.
Account emails.
Let me know when you're ready.
Two, 3, 6, 2, 4, 9, 2, 3, 6. Okay, 5.51% increase. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Active users past month is 78.
Last week was 87. This is, you said 78?
Yeah.
Okay. And new users?
58.
Last week 61. This week 58. Okay, 78. No, last week 87, 78.
Do you want my never mind.
Last week 87. This week 78. %10 decrease in monthly active users, and then 61 to 58. $58. 4.9% decrease in new users. On record count, we've increased. Privy decreased. Stripe, I have not checked. Would you like to open up so I can keep sharing, or should I stop sharing so that I can look into Stripe?
I can jump on Stripe. Anything.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Slack. Where is my? Here it is. Okay. I'm just signing in. Customers.
Yep. Subscribers. Go to subscribers.
Subscriptions.
Subscriptions, yeah. How many active subscriptions are in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So this week we're at 6. Last week we're at 5.
Nice.
Now 6, before 5. It's what, 30%, 20% increase. So 20% increase on subscribers. That also is one of our enterprise customers, right?
Yeah.
How many active enterprise subscriptions do we have right now? 2?
In Stripe?
No, we don't track. Well, I guess we're tracking Black Flag and Stripe, and Coinbase is invoices.
Yeah. So 2. Yes.
Active pending last week was 6. How many pending do you have now?
Pending.
Pending deals.
Well, I mean, 1, 2. It's 4 because, well, yeah, 5 actually, because one transitioned into active.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, 2 got added. Yeah. So, what is it? 7.
Enterprise pipeline. We didn't have any before. Now we have 2. So I'm just going to call this 200%. But this number really won't be accurate until next week when we have previous data.
Yeah.
So enterprise pipeline, we've gone up by a lot. We now have enterprise subscribers. We didn't have that before. We have more enterprise deals that are in the pipeline. So our enterprise is growing. Our subscriptions grew by 20%. That's one of our enterprise customers have subscribed via Stripe. Then our emails, we've gone up 5%, 5.8%, 236 to 249. Privy is the only place we are decreasing. We've gone down active users, monthly active users, as well as new users, we're decreasing. So less people are signing in.
Okay.
Reflections on lots of new users. Last
Delete.
week, I'm not worried because our focus is not on new users. We're focused on making the product better. Once the product is better, I can email everyone and the number will go up. MIQ, what specific features causes enterprise customers to share Recoup with their friends? I said not there yet. We lack a good enough product for word of mouth distribution. What specific features cause Sound of Fracture students to share Recoup with their friends? What's your reflection?
Delete it.
Just delete the reflection?
No, lots of new users.
Oh, delete this entire, just delete this.
Yeah. Let's focus on enterprise. It's winning, and lots of new users is so vague. What does that even mean?
Want to change it or just delete the point overall?
I mean, I think we just get rid of it. I mean, that's my thought. Less is more.
I agree. Less is more. Never argue with deleting stuff. Sid and Suites use and get value on a daily basis. Last week, Sid said not. Client for Instagram would add value. I said no, not on par with Eliza for chat or tool usage. I'll kick this one off. I'm going to scratch this out. We're now using tool usage and our chat is feeling better. Am I getting value on a daily basis? We're getting there. We're definitely getting closer. I'm starting to learn more. I would say one of my biggest limiters right now is I don't have a way for it to get new things. And so my data, I feel like it's old and I'm afraid to go and run the wrapped report because I think it's going to take a long time. I guess I could run the wrapped report to get new stuff, and that's probably what I should do. But the main writing it here, it's not easy or clear how new data is captured to update my segments, such as new comments, new posts. Start with that would be better than where we're at. Your side, and I'll delete this. What is your reflection on getting value on a daily basis? Last week you said not. Client for Instagram would add value.
Client for Instagram would add value to me. What I'm realizing is that my case study is I'm okay with being hands off to let the agent run my shit for experimental purposes. Not many people are okay with that. So right now I'm okay with Eliza running my Twitter, and I don't have a problem with it saying wrong things or getting out right. So Sid not client for Instagram would add value for Sid, but for the general population and for Sid, the smarter that the client is, the more value it adds. So it goes back to our scraping data and our segments need to be able to inform the agent or the client how to best grow my account on Instagram.
my MIQ, how can Recoup be the first to know when something important, that feels generic, but I'm going to keep writing, when something important happens in my social profile?
When you say something important, what do you mean?
I want to just say new data. When new data is available, when new data is available, is missing from my social profile. When new data is not, when new data is missing, not synced to my social profile on Recoup. How can Recoup be the first to know when, how can Recoup instantly know and know when data is missing to my Recoup profile and scrape the missing data? Any feedback on my MIQ, or do you want to give yours?
My feedback on your MIQ is that really what you're looking for, Sweets? Like, okay, so this is what I'm thinking through. Like, right now, you have a following on Twitter. There are revenue opportunities that you are missing that are based on your following and what's going on and who's posting and you know what your fans are and followers are doing. So like that's where I think, like, do you care if there's new data, or do you care if it's new data that's going to drive revenue or growth for you? Right? Like I'm keep going back to that. Like, what's the real value add that will make you go back and check Recoup and you're to, like, you know, be like, oh shit, there's more, there's new shit.
So is that your MIQ? What's the real value add that makes you go back to check out Recoup?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say actually, like my this is my MIQ actually. What info can we give that nobody else has that's truly necessary?
There you go. Now he's focusing on a mantra. Find a good MIQ and keep repeating it until the answer is so loud it's transparent. Anything else we want to do in our Q1 goals? We've gotten rid of one of our Q1 goals and we've updated our MIQs in one of the subsets of our quarterly goals.
I'm cool with it.
Monthly goal for February. We're now at the end of February. We had the Warner Music Call. We said we wanted to prepare 11 artists. We barely got 3, and then we loaded our 4th. So we didn't hit we didn't hit prepare 11 artists. There's no X, so I'll just.
It's okay. Delete it. Delete this.
Human experience, autopilot dashboard, new artist scraping, segments, helpful actions, follow-up chat. Performs worse. Well, top tier demo was our first goal. I would say we did not hit that goal.
I agree.
Warner didn't sign up on the spot. Warner did not see how we are different from their, well, we did not show Warner. We did not show Warner. How we are different from their existing subscriptions. Top tier demo, not achieved. Why wasn't it achieved on your side?
We didn't clearly show what info we can give that they don't have, which is truly necessary. I don't know how to say that.
Necessary?
Necessary. Thank you. I've been listening to Bare Necessities because of story, so I have
Still stuck in your head. Wow. That keeps coming back. Top tier demo, we replied, chat bugs performs worse than Eliza. I would say not anymore. Segment chat. Chat needs reference the info about that segment. I would say that one also scratch out. Regular chats, normal chats are working. That's still, I would put a check on each of these for chat bugs.
I agree. Oh, there's that one chat bug that happened during the demo and before the demo where, remember when you said, oops?
It was showing a previous chat.
Yeah.
And then when I went to wrapped, it underneath the wrapped stuff, it showed the chat.
And then you had to like refresh in order to get it to go away. That's the only little bug that I found. So the bugs are gone, and that was the biggest blocker in Fab Suites. And like thinking through like a reflection of February, in January we hit the ground running with segments and chats and all this, and we were like, let's fucking go. We started onboarding people, let's fucking go. And there was a light because it was like, oh shit, people are reacting to this, which is good. But then we started hitting all those bugs, which prevented everybody from using the product, even though the potential was there. So I think February was full of just restructuring it so that we don't have these bugs, but I think we're in a good place now.
Warner Call, we did not have a top tier demo, but we have been fixing the chat bugs and we have been fixing the wrapped bugs.
Yep.
Cool. Web human interface updates, fan segments tab. The tab exists. Funnel segment results are the same as segments in the segments tab. That is also done. Segments are good wherever you go. On-click generates a new report. That's true only if the report hasn't been generated, so we're not duplicating that work. I'd call this tab complete.
Agreed.
Then recent chats, we don't have deleting, we don't have reorder. Also, I don't know if they're accurate. This was not focused on, I don't know if we focused on it at all this month.
We didn't.
We did.
We did not. We need something that it's something that we do need to fix because it's a little confusing right now for the user.
Or remove.
Correct.
Right now, it seems we're trying to focus on segments. So I would argue get rid of the recent chats so that people go into the segments. But that's something we can talk about at a different time. This is the first time we're talking about recent chats. So let's
true. On segments. All right, delete robust system.
We're about to delete all these goals, but yes, you're right. I'll delete it now. We didn't focus on it this month is why, right?
Yes.
Helpful actions. I don't know if they're helpful yet. What metrics do we need to evaluate? Segment report, brand pitch.
Delete.
We didn't focus on it. Client Instagram agent.
Delete.
Same thing. That is everything for the monthly goal. And then we go into power users. Do we want to focus on March goal before we go into power users?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's delete this and start with fresh items. We're going into March. What do we want our monthly goals to be? Do you have anything that jumps out?
We provide, let's provide a terrible word. Warner signs up.
Okay. What else?
That's
the goal.
That's the goal. I mean, and then whatever it takes to get to that product or sales related, rolls it up into. We can get Warner to sign up. We get every other record enterprise record label to sign up.
Let me copy what you had said before here. So far I've got two sub items. Warner signs up. We need to scrape all data, and segment name generation needs improved. Are there other points that come before this in the ordering that I showed you earlier?
What is the ordering that you should?
Social profile lookup. I think the biggest thing missing there is the Spotify dropdown, but we're white gloving, so that part probably doesn't matter. Then it's scraping, which I have right here. We're not scraping all customers. The question is, do we do that for everybody or only enterprise paying customers? We're also missing a lot of the fields specifically on comments.
What I think we should do is not worry about all custom, or I mean, this is just my 2 cents. I could be wrong here, and it might just have to do you might be asking this because of the infrastructure build, but instead of thinking through the all customers or just enterprise, like let's just focus on one artist from Warner. Like let's focus on the follow-up call, right? Like, because that's what we're going to have in a week or two with them. Their whole thing was, hey, come back to us when you can show us what info you can give to us that we don't already have that is necessary. They also showed us on the call, they threw out a couple names of artists that they were interested in. So I think if we focus on one artist, sub 1 million followers, so it's like an artist in their roster who's like bubbling, they're focused on, but it's not Teddy Swims or somebody huge who like, you know, is going to sell records themselves. An up and coming artist. And we make that artist the case study for how do we scrape all the data we need, scrape all the social profiles, segment the shit out of it. Okay, this is how expensive it costs us to do for a major label artist who's kind of up and coming and just got signed. And then we can decide, is it worth us doing this for every customer, or can we only afford to do it for enterprise customers? And at what point, like, you know, we can then kind of reverse engineer from there. But like, let's just use one person as an example.
Do you want to give me that handle now, or would you like a different time?
I have 2 people that we can actually, no, I'll give you the handle, because I believe during the call they threw out the name Daja. It was like between Daja and then the other guy that you wrote that you actually put in, which is, let me see.
Dasha, D-A-S-H-A?
Yeah, versus Warren Zeider, right? And then they were like, oh no, let's just go with Warren Zeider because he has more of a following. But then I looked up Dasha and I think she's sub 1 million and up and coming.
So focused on Dasha?
Do you remember if Dasha was the artist or no?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's focus on Dasha. I emailed them separately to see if I can get calls and I can to verify this, but I'm 95% sure it was Dasha.
So it sounds like you're very focused on expanding all the data. And this is the point that matters to you. Are there any points you want to focus on, or is this the only one that matters to you for Warner sign up?
What do you mean? What as opposed to what other points?
I'm creating subpoints. So far, you have focused on this one point that I gave instead of adding more points or focusing on any other points. And so I'm asking, is this the only point you want to focus on? Do we continue? Or
No, we
are
can
there
continue.
more things that you want to add in here to achieve the monthly goal of Warner Signs Up?
I kind of want to get into what I mean, if possible, what I am thinking of what segments could look like. Do you want me to get into what I think would be the answer to what can we give to Warner Records that they don't already have? That's necessary.
Sure.
Okay. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me get rid of subscriptions. So I sent you the long conversation I had with Claude. Did you have a chance to run through it?
Yep.
Do you have any thoughts on it before I dive in?
I think overall it's a good direction. Someone needs to take these words and actually translate it into code.
I agree. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with you, right? Like, because I know a lot of this, the question is going to be, okay, cool, but how do we come up with this data? Like storm chasers who stream weather TikTok.
That's a segment name. Right. So if that line you just highlighted is what is important, that's generating segment names you would like to change to some capacity.
Well, okay, so the segment name. Okay, let me show you kind of what I've been kind of going through. So I've been playing around with like how we can add more value to what info can we give to Warner Records that they don't already have, right? If we're scraping all of the fans, we're segmenting better because we're scraping better data, we're segmenting everything better. The real idea, I think that the value add, right, is by presenting them opportunities within each segment up front, right? So this example is, okay, we scraped a bunch of data. We saw that 12,000 fans, X% of your audience was chess streamers who love drill beats. That's the segment name, right? Whatever. But why are we showing them this? Why do they give a fuck about this? And then that's where I think the interesting part is if we can show them immediately up front, your artist music is powering chess matches on Twitch. You should get it featured in GM Haruku's next tournament to expose your tracks to 500K viewers. Like now we're tying the niche segments that we're finding that nobody else has access to right now to how does it correlate directly to your revenue? And it's a big enough segment where it matters, right? It's not one person loves chess streamers. It's 10,000 people, right? And basically giving them segments that they can then go do campaigns off of, and then like an opportunity, an idea of here's an opportunity we think you can do with this, right? But like I go back to like what Willie was saying, where it's like we also want to do the work too. We don't want AI to just do everything for us. So Jackie might interpret chess streamers with drill beats. Well, I can go do X, Y, and Z with a campaign with that or whatever. But basically going through and finding these segments that are like niche enough and obscure enough that they're not the opportunities are clearly there, but nobody else is showing that to them. I'll stop there because I don't want to get too down the weeds and get your thoughts.
I took from that you would like, right now, segment includes a name and a number of fans. You would like a segment when we're generating segment names, it includes an opportunity as well.
Correct. And a real opportunity, not a hallucinated one.
So 2 items we need to do in order to get Warner to sign up. We need to be scraping all data, and we need to improve the names of the segments that we're generating. Anything else you want to add onto here before we go into power users?
No, I think that's good.
Power users, Coinbase is now paying customer. Group chat for super users. It looks like you set up the group, but I think we just got a notification that the group's being set up. I don't think it's actually being used right now, right?
It is not being used, but I set it up. So next is start chatting when we have updates for people.
This week's setup. You said next week is what?
Well, start to send updates there.
Sid's still responsible?
Yeah.
Cool. Group chat. Sound of fractures. Status. Students are trying Recoup feedback comparison against other aspirational artists. For students who don't have enough data, they want to see retail feature. I have nothing to add here. What do you have?
Nothing to add.
It's Sam Nick's new subscriber. Prioritize. Is he a subscriber?
Yeah.
They were already a subscriber last week, so we included them in our Stripe subscription count last week.
I believe so. I believe they were the new sign up last week.
Do we have any updates with this subscriber or delete?
You can delete.
Replace with black flag?
Yes.
Move them above Sound of Fractures because they're enterprise?
Yep.
Move them above group chat. This week, paid contract. Check.
Do you want to get into this, the Coinbase, for a little bit to talk about what you had mentioned earlier is how do we make sure that the stream that you do aligns with our infrastructure?
Yep. What are some things that I could be doing next week that makes it so the work I do with Coinbase is greater tied to Recoup? Super low lift is add an agent kit into our general chats or a new domain where you can use agent kit tools. One, we're already using LangChain and LangGraph. The reason I'm using that is I pulled it out of agent kit. All of agent kit tools plug in about one line of code into ours. So one is agent kit and chat. I'll stop there and open up the space for you to give us ideas. Because my mind's already focusing on this. What I think is lacking is I don't know if your mind is focusing on this.
What do you mean?
Opportunities for the intersection.
Yeah. Okay, so when I was going through the segments to make segments better, and it was just mock segments, right? Like, give me examples of mock segments. One of the mock segments was like NFT collectors in that love. I don't know. It's just like NFT and digital collectors. I think was the segment, and out of all of the segments, it was the only one that could tie back directly, besides merch ones, but like could tie back directly to on-chain revenue immediately for artists. And so I was thinking that maybe as we're building the segments, we always include at least one on-chain segment that we can then leverage Agent Kit for to get more data on that segment.
That feels fair. Do you have, so did, I suggested include Agent Kit in chat. You're filtering that to say, let's only include Agent Kit in segments that are on-chain related.
Well, explain to me what you mean by include Agent Kit in chat for the end user. What does that look like?
Check ETH balance, swap funds, create NFT, create meme coin.
I love it. Start there.
Those are all the things that are included in Agent Kit. So it's a bunch of tools that we only have one tool right now. And so adding this thing gives a bunch of other tools.
Yeah. Start there. That's a much better place to start. And then the second layer is, because then at the end of the day, you'll be able to do that in chat or segment chat as well. So I'm all for it.
So the biggest thing I need to know is if a segment is related to being on chain. For now, the lowest lift I'm thinking through is directly checking a word, not even using an LLM, but just when a request is made, check the segment title. If the title includes keywords like Coinbase, on-chain, base, Ethereum, NFT, and just hard code a list of words, if the segment name includes that, include Agent Kit tools. If it does not, do not include those tools.
I mean, now that I'm thinking through, like you might be your initial might be better. Is there any negative repercussion for users if we just put Agent Kit on in all chats, not just specific segment chat?
It's a great question. My response to that is, how often do we get false positives on on-chain tools? The thing that scares me is that someone is trying to ask questions about a segment, and then we create a meme coin, and we say, hey, we just created a meme coin. And they're like, what's a meme coin, and why did you do that, instead of responding?
Yeah, true.
But we haven't tried it yet. And hopefully the agent is smart enough to not misuse tools. The lowest lift is just throw it into chat. And then if there becomes problems, then we do the filtering. It's more work if we want to do it right now. Like, let's do extra things. I would prefer to just throw it in chat, and then next week we reflect to see if it was.
Agreed.
Okay. So for now, we'll just throw Agent Kit into all the chats. That is a direct tie-in. If we just start off at one a week, that is greater cadence than we were at last week. So I'm happy.
I like it.
Cool. Black flag this week. Since it is yours, I'll let you lead this week and next week. Unless you contribute.
Sure. So this week we got them on Enterprise. They're subscribed. They're starting their free trial. Next week, I am going to email them. We need to set up a time where you show me how to connect the back end so I can start doing this manually and don't need to rely on you for it. So that
means
connect the admin account that I create and add artists to their account, so they have artists and segments when they log in. That's next week.
Copy. Anything specific you want to add into what you're going to do when you email them? Or just email them?
No, I'm going to email. Yeah, I'll just email them and I might set up an onboarding one-on-one with them. But yeah, just put that actually. That'd be better. I'll connect it and then get on a call with them to walk them through it. But now that we're going to make segments smarter, I'm like, should we just wait until? Should I just tell them like, hey, I'm going to extend your free trial for a week, but we're just adding a new feature that's fucking crazy. But we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Same thing with us. The next one is Steph.
1 RPM. Yep.
Yeah,
status before was no response via email. What's the current status?
She responded. I gave them clear instructions on what to do, which is to sign up and send me a list of their artists. And next steps is waiting for them to email back.
Next step, X Def signs up and sends Sid list of artists. Good on 1 RPM. Anything else you want to add to this?
No, I think that's good.
Group chat, we already talked about. Sound of fractures, we already talked about. Blocker, Sid communicating, product is in beta. All of his contacts are in standby.
Delete.
Anything else in super users, power users?
Oh, we have a call with Keys on Tuesday. I don't think he's on here, but we should add him on here.
Is he paying customer?
He's about to be. He's also the most proactive customer we have. So he's used the most credits in the system. He is the person that he constantly messages me to give me updates and bug updates at least once a week. So he's a huge valuable power user. He hit me up to ask for a call next week. So I set up. I don't know what the call is about. But the last thing that the last message that I got from him was he couldn't find his segments or chats.
Recent chats, I would understand. I haven't touched that.
Yeah.
So
I think like he's missing some of the stuff that he was using the product, and now it's missing, and he's trying to find it out where all his stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Next steps.
We'll just talk to him, see what he needs.
Going to keep him as the lowest because he's not paying, and so far in our plans, we're not talking about him being paying. So
yeah,
let's keep moving on. Weekly goal: bugs, chat use Eliza, Warner meeting prep. For our goals, I think we got bugs and chat use. I think we did them all.
Yeah.
That was reflecting on last week's goals. Linear, I'll clean that up on my own unless you find it important. I'll focus on managing the linear so we don't spend time on it.
Cool.
Weekly goals coming into this week. We wanted, let's just delete all this and prep it. Again, we got LangChain. I want to keep MIQ to end the call after weekly goals. Okay, weekly goals. Anything you want to start with?
My weekly goal is finishing a sales deck that I've started. The purpose of that is multiple people have asked me to send them a sales deck so they can start helping us generate leads. So that's the number one priority for me in order to generate revenue and more leads. The second one is following up with everybody in our pipeline. And then the third thing is to help you in any design you need done for our V2 of fan segments. Those are my main three. I have a bunch of other little ones, but let's keep it at the top three.
No limits on any scraping. Doesn't need to just be 85. On my side, over the next week, we need to scrape the missing fields for all accounts. Potentially get videos, but I'll focus on the high level. One artist, Dasha, will hard code it so that there's no limits for that account. If we run a scrape, we scrape everything. With that, I think we want to start making scraping no repeats. I think this will help us to scrape. Well, this is a thinking, so I'll write it: scraping no duplicates, save money, faster scraping, increase probability to remove limits from all scraping instead of just Dasha. Scrape the missing fields. Dasha needs to have no limits. maybe before no duplicates, we want segment name generation. We want opportunity. Need more definition on how to give that to an LLM, as well as SID's Claude 3.7. That's raw text right now. I still don't know how we can. We need. You truly understand something if you can explain it like it's a 5-year-old. Right now, that wall of text you sent is not explainable to a 5-year-old. If we want to really understand what Claude is saying, can you express that long wall of text to me in a 5-year-old sentence so that I can write it down here to understand what you're looking for?
Yes, give me 2 seconds.
Are you gonna have Claude do it?
Yeah. Yes, I am. You want to watch the process so that our streamers can see?
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
What?
Restream tells us when someone scanned the QR code.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you scan it?
I did not.
We had one person scan the QR, and it wasn't you or me.
All right, what was the prompt?
Explain this, summarize this in one sentence like you're talking to a 5-year-old, and then paste the whole raw text. Summarize the action item in this like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old in one sentence.
Summarize the action item in this.
One sentence. You could just write ELI 5. It stands for explain it like I'm 5.
Okay.
ELI 5.
ELI
5. Explain it like I'm 5.
From this in
one sentence.
You didn't even give me the 1 or 2 sentences.
Improve by scraping all followers instead of just commenters. I'd say that's different than what we wanted to focus on, creating enterprise level segments with unique insights and connecting these insights directly with revenue opportunities for Warner. Does that properly encapsulate what you were wanting to communicate in the Claude wall of text?
I mean, we can remove by scraping all followers instead of just commenters, because I don't know, that it might be wrong there, but
the enterprise level segment still doesn't give. I guess I could give that to OpenAI, but that doesn't encapsulate all the things you were saying of the specific segments. So it still feels like if you think this is right, I will copy this and put it in. Seeing your wall of text, do not agree that accurately represents it. So do you want me to put that in? And that's our current requirement. And I'll just be under the understanding that we're not entirely clear on the changes that need to be made.
No, I think we need to, this is the most important thing that we need to figure out if we're going to move forward this week with success, is we both and any LLMs we're using can absolutely understand what we need to do.
I agree.
This doesn't accurately represent the full text. Please.
Why don't you this time take a screenshot of one of the segments, give it the screenshot, highlight just the list of segments that you had in the wall of text, and give it that context of here's the segment names that we have right now. Here's the list of segments that Sid is visualizing. Explain it like I'm 5, the action item difference to get segments where we want them to be.
Okay, wait, let me just use this. Explain.
ELI 5. Or type it out.
I'm trying to create a 1-sentence goal for this week in regards to improving fan segmentation. Can you take all of the fan segments and this entire conversation that we've done and boil it into one sentence of what we have to do and focus on this week to successfully hit our goal of improving fan segments and giving information to record labels that they don't already have, which is truly necessary. Our goal for
There
this
you
week,
go. That's better.
our fan segmentation algorithm to identify ultra niche actionable communities like chess streamers and night shift medical staff that labels can immediately leverage for targeted streaming growth through specific partnership opportunities they would never discover through conventional research.
That's way. I would say that's 10 times better. Send me that. I'll throw it in Notion doc.
The one thing that I would change is specific partnership opportunities is not the only thing we want them to be able to get, right? Should I
Then just remove the word partnership and just say specific opportunity.
Specific opportunities, yeah, exactly.
Okay. We figured out who scanned the QR code, by the way. He
Who was
commented, and I've got him pinned. His name is Nick V.
Give him a free month trial.
You hear that, Nick? If you're interested in trying out Recoup, I'll send you a DM after this so that we can connect, and if you signed up, we'll give you a free month so that you can try out the product. Thank you for interacting with the stream today. We value you being here and being the only person that commented over the full hour that we've been live.
Let's fucking go. All right, you want to drop this here?
Yeah, that works.
Oh, I forgot to take out. Let me edit.
I'll change it. Don't worry.
Okay.
You're sharing.
Oh, let me stop sharing.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. Opportunity. Our goal this week is to refine our fan segmentation algorithm to identify ultra niche actionable communities like chess streamers and night shift medical staff that labels can immediately leverage for targeted streaming growth through specific opportunities they would never discover through conventional research.
Bam.
I like that. Scraping no duplicates is the lowest priority. Scrape missing fields, that's important. Dasha no limits. Which would you rate higher, Dasha no limits or segment name generation?
No, like this, or I mean, in order to get good segments and opportunities, we need better scraping. So I don't know if no limits is the answer or just like at what point do we have enough scraping that we can then hit our goal of identify ultra niche actionable communities in Dodge's fan base?
I didn't get a clear answer out of that, so I'll keep moving on unless you had intended to give a clear answer there. I asked which ordering, and then
the ordering is good.
Okay. Weekly goals we're done with. MIQ coming out of this. Do you want to repeat your MIQ or send it to me so that I can put it in?
Yes. What info can we give to artists and labels that they don't already have, which is truly necessary?
Anything I messed up in here that you want to fix?
Nope.
What is the smallest set of changes required to scrape to have 100% consistency in the information scraped across all social profiles for bio, avatar, following, and followers? Any feedback or pushback on my MIQ?
No, it's good.
Okay. Stop sharing. Anything else you want to go over in these goals?
Yeah, I want to reverse engineer your thought process of deliverability to, or I followed up with Warner to set a follow-up call with them. I said over the next couple of weeks to not lock us in for 1 week deliverable of blowing their minds. I also emailed everybody who was on the call separately to see if I can get a one-on-one with them next week to get more information one-on-one about what would make the AI agents and platform better for them specifically. I want to really quickly ask you, knowing where we need to get to, is a week realistic? Are we good, or should we plan for longer, 2 weeks, to get to a point where we can have this meeting again with them?
I don't have a clear enough understanding of what are these specific blockers to setting up the new meeting. What I would love is if you're testing the app on a more regular basis and on a daily basis, or on a higher cadence than on a daily basis, telling me what is currently lacking for you to set up the call within the next 7 days.
Got it. That's perfect. That's perfect. And then I can do that all week. And
yeah, at least on a daily basis would be great.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, every time you ship, I'm on a test.
And you're only going to be testing Dasha, right?
Yes.
Cool. We're focused exclusively on Dasha.
Yes. Something I did earlier, which I don't know if it'll help, but I asked Perplexity and Chat Deep Research to write me a report, a deep research report. I asked them to do it on another artist, but I got like, it goes through and gives you like a fucking huge, awesome report on an artist. My question is like, would that improve the artist chat and segment chats if we have like a MD file in context of like a long report on Dasha, who she is, where all of her songs, basically a deep research paper on Dasha?
Your question is there value in doing deep research on artists?
Yes, during the scraping process.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of valuable things that could be done.
Okay, last question. Did you try GPT-4.5?
No, I haven't.
It's kind of fire. I don't know if I like 3.7 better or 4.5 better. Oh, that's interesting. It says it's good at advanced reasoning and technical depth, but it's not supposedly as good as that. So right there, boom, wrong. This is what you did with Samir?
Yeah, Samir and I did this on Wednesday. I like the canvas.
Yeah, this canvas is really fire.
It's looking better than 4.0.
Did you watch the YouTube video that they put? That you sent me the YouTube video.
I did. It seemed like they were all reading from scripts and nobody knew what they were actually saying. Like the human level of intelligence on that call was just like, wow, y'all really do not seem prepared, which maybe is a bullish sign that they were focused on coding, but it was just like, you guys should have just had AI do the presentation because none of you really knew what you were saying. This is still worse than Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I mean, yes, it's Pac-Man. There's a yellow dot that's moving and I'm eating white dots, but
this is easy mode.
This is, yeah. Grok 3 did better than this.
So the test that they ran on in the call or on their demo was showcasing more of its 4.5's ability to pick up on nuance of emotional tone from users, which I thought was
tell Sid to go F himself, and then it comes back, well, you might be angry right now. Are you sure you actually want to send?
Yeah, exactly. Which I thought was cool, and like just like simpler, like better response stuff.
Oh, I can get into the wall too. Look at that.
Yeah, fucking boo.
This is. I'm very happy with 3.7 right now.
No, let's leave
I'm
it.
also open to swapping out. I want to, like, one of the things that we can do as a startup is we can be very lean and swap out our models. So if you want to swap it out, I'm totally down to do that. So far I haven't been impressed by it. My current take on 4.5 is it seems like Sam and the team are feeling the pressure of every other team shipping just as fast, if not faster than them. And this is their attempt to maintain attention, but seeing everybody not really know what they were saying on the call, not seeing this actually being light years ahead, even hearing Sam say, like, don't expect this to have reasoning or other things. It feels like they're shipping to do their best to stay up to date rather than this is actually a groundbreaking reason for us to change. But that could totally be inaccurate. If you want us to switch to this, I'm happy to.
No, I don't. I think we just switched to 3.7. Let's see how it feels and build out. I also liked my responses from Claude for fan segments and opportunities that it delivered better than 4.5's. It's just the formatting is just a little different. But yeah, no. Let's keep it. Let's keep it as is, and let's just focus on the scraping and pulling in as much fucking crazy shit as possible.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you got any value out of this video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, leave us a comment, reshare this.